If you can plan a wedding, then you can prepare for a natural disaster. I saw this on a billboard one day when I was driving to Flint, so kudos to the people who designed that billboard. Not sure what it was an ad for, but you damn right. I used to watch these TV shows, and then I see people in my life doing all of this extravagant shit for a wedding, which I get it. I used to want to have a fairy tale wedding as well. I don't understand why there has to be a day dedicated for like tasting the cake and like picking all of this different stuff out. Okay, I get it, but it's like, bring that energy into other aspects of your life as well, okay? Like, no shade at all to those who got their dream wedding, because trust me, I understand. I used to want the same thing. I still maybe do. A smidge. Okay, a smidge. But if you are going to spend like a year planning this dream wedding, and I get you don't spend every second of that year doing it, but if you like add up all the time together that some people spend planning their wedding, it is probably like a few weeks of their life just dedicated to planning a wedding. So if you took that same energy and put it into like starting a business or planning for a natural disaster, okay, it doesn't have to be a zombie apocalypse, although that is kind of a natural disaster, but it could be more so like a flood, a fire, an earthquake. Like, if you just kind of plan for things like that, if you start prepping with that same energy, you're gonna be so prepared, especially with the shit that is happening in the world right now. Okay, literally today as I'm filming this, I'm probably not gonna post this video today. I'll probably post it sometime next week. But today, when filming this, Meta went down, like Facebook and Instagram, for a little bit. The first time I went on Facebook this morning, I was like, did somebody hack my account? Like, what's happening? It has my account profile picture and then these other people that I've let log into Facebook on my phone before, and I'm like, shoot, I'm signed out. And it wouldn't let me log back in. And then somebody mentioned that, like, no, it's not just you, like, it happened to me too. And then a bunch of other of my friends told me, because I posted on Snapchat, like, what's happening? And everybody was like, Facebook's down. And then I looked on Instagram too, and I was like, oh, Instagram is not loading either. And then literally like 2 weeks ago, like 2 Thursdays ago, is when there was that big solar flare on February 22nd. And then there was this like AT&T thing. Like, I have AT&T, so I couldn't call anybody except 911 if I had to. And I couldn't text anybody except like my mom, my brother, and then one other friend. I'm not sure why, but I could text some people and I couldn't text other people. And I had no cellular data. And this was like a national crisis. This probably happened to a lot of you guys as well that day. So I'm like, solar flare, EMP warfare, just them fucking with us. I don't know. But there was a big solar flare that day, but it also could just be like a form of warfare, or it could be just them messing with us, like testing our limits, you know, see if we can go without communication, see if we can go without social media, because so many of us rely on that for so much. And that does go to show, like, everybody was freaking out and they weren't questioning why. It was like a freaking meme. Everyone was like, oh, like, our shit's down, like, I can't call anybody. But nobody was asking, like, why? Why did this happen? When really we should be asking why. We shouldn't just be like, oh, shoot, and then like, oh, yay, it's back, it's fixed. Like, who cares? Like, what if that happens again tomorrow? Like, what if it happens for longer than a few hours? Like, it totally could have just been them testing us. Also could have been the solar flare, could have been a little bit of both. Could have been a version of all three of those hypotheses that I have, theories that I have. Like, yeah. And also, there's been so many natural disasters. We've talked about weird weather, wild weather on this channel before. I'll leave my link to that video in the description of this video. We've talked about my bug out bags, like what I have in my survival pack, and my med pack, and my extra pack, and in my food pack, the other stuff I have laying around. So I would just suggest really getting into prepping. This video isn't going to be about how to prep, but really it's common sense, okay? If you want to watch a bunch of YouTube videos about preppers, I've done that too, so go for it. But it's really just common sense. Like, what do you need to survive? And also don't overlook the basic things. Like, just having a set of spare clothes for you and your kids in your car goes a long way. You know, what if somebody throws up on you at work or something? Then you have a spare pair of clothes in your car. Like, that's prepping too. But it's also about, you know, having a bag ready to go in case you have to go in your car and like outrun a storm or something. It's having some food in your house, so if you have to hunker down for whatever reason, like COVID-19 part 2 or whatever, then you have food. So it's just about thinking about this stuff, especially like in the winter. What if there's a big snowstorm? Like, are we going to rely on the Weather Channel to go get food like on that Friday night when there's a big snowstorm coming on Saturday? Or are we just going to have like a couple weeks worth of food in our house just in case? Like, it's really just common sense. And, you know, you can go out as far as you want, like turn your vehicle into a bug out vehicle if you want, if you have the money for it, if you have the resources for it, if you have the time for it. Cool. It's about putting like your name, your date of birth, and your blood type on a little like note in your car. So if you get into a car crash and they need to, like, you know, give you a blood transfusion or something, they can see your blood type really quick and be like, okay, she needs A positive or whatever. It's about putting your child's info on their car seat as well. Like, it's little things like that. If you can plan for a wedding, you can plan for a natural disaster. That is all. Think positive thoughts, you guys. Peace out.